The People Stack, powered by OFFRD.co.
Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Aarthi, and as always, I'm here with Raj from OFFRD. Today, we're diving into one of those classic startup debates. Is variable pay actually the spark that drives performance, or just another compliance headache waiting to happen? Before we dive in, a quick disclaimer. This show reflects our views only. For legal matters, please consult a qualified expert for professional advice. So Raj, what do you say about this?
Yeah, classic startup tightrope, right? Most startups I talk to, they're always thinking, how do I pay folks enough to keep them motivated but not break my bank with high fixed salaries? That's where variable pay, things like performance bonuses or good old sales commissions really come into play.
Exactly. I remember chatting with a founder friend of mine. Her team was still small, maybe a dozen people. She linked everyone's bonus to getting their product shipped on time. And honestly, the energy in that team, it was wild. Some of them actually stayed all night in office on launch week. And those bonuses, they did a lot more than any team lunch ever could.
That's such a good example. I mean, it's super common in sales. Like, you might have someone on, say, a base of 10 lakhs a year, but the real game changer when they double it on commissions. We've seen sales folks who almost treat commission like the real salary. Same goes for product managers. Milestone-linked bonuses, quarterly payouts. It sharpens focus for everyone involved.
And let's be honest, for most founders, cash is tight. Instead of promising big fixed pay, tying reward to actual company results, like you said, Raj, gets people hungry for results.
But, not every company gets it right. Sometimes it's just, hey, you get a bonus, somehow, whenever, and then it gets messy. But we'll get to that later. First, let's chat about what happens when you go from startup, Jaga ad, to actual legal compliance, because that's a whole new world. So here's where it gets tricky. In India, once you add variable pay and put it in writing, all these legal obligations kick in. Most founders don't really think of that at first. You're just trying to keep your team motivated, right? But PF, TDS, the Bonus Act. Suddenly, it's like you need a whole law degree to write an offer letter.
Yeah, the details are no joke. Let's unpack the PF bit first. The Employees Provident Fund Organization, EPFO, basically says, look, anything that's not performance-linked, you have to include for PF. So if your offer letter just says allowances, but isn't clear about what's variable versus fixed, you're going to have a bad time.
Totally. And then there's TDS. Doesn't matter if it's a cash bonus, sales incentive, whatever form. If your team gets it, you gotta do the tax deduction right that year. It gets more complicated if you mess up timing. And then the Bonus Act comes in. Some founders don't even realize that if you're over 20 people and hitting that wage threshold, suddenly there's this extra compliance layer with statutory bonuses.
I actually heard from someone who got into trouble because their offer letters had vague wording like annual performance bonus at management's discretion. When the payouts were delayed, which, let's be honest, sometimes means they just never happened.
That kind of stuff can happen. Take a hypothetically case where the offer letter used variable pay and incentive allowance totally interchangeably. Employees get confused, HR will be making mistakes on withdrawals, and it quickly turns into a compliance nightmare. That's actually something OFFRD.co helps handle now. Our workflows automate how variable pay is described and will literally red flag if the terms are muddled or missing.
Because honestly, it's not just about payout, it's about trust. You promise someone a bonus and don't deliver? Word spreads. And legal disputes just kill the employer brand. So if we're saying variable pay is a motivator, you have to manage the risk or it just backfires. So after all that, where's the sweet spot? If you want variable pay to be a motivator, it's got to be simple, structured, and open book. Like, it's not enough to say, you'll get a bonus. What are you paying for? When? What's the exact target?
Best practice: tie it to outcomes you can document. Whether it's hitting a sales number or launching a new feature by a set date, and really spell out every condition in the appointment letter itself. Leave nothing to chance. Because if it's vague, someone's gonna challenge it later.
Transparency makes life so much easier. And it's not just legal covering your back, right? Employees feel safer and more motivated when they know exactly how they earn extra. Also, I'm a huge fan of using HR tech because spreadsheets are great until you've sent the wrong file to your CA 3 times in a row. Automating with OFFRD or whatever you're using just makes the headache disappear.
Yeah, scale matters too. Like, variable pay may work amazing in sales, but what about roles where metrics are fuzzy? Can you really set a bonus for, say, admin or support roles? Sometimes simplest is best, maybe a team-based pool, or skip it if you can't tie it to something trackable. Question for founders to ask: what's the smallest, most transparent structure that could actually motivate your team without making payroll hell?
And maybe the real answer is, it depends. But if you're clear, keep it simple, and use the right tools, variable pay can drive results without becoming a compliance horror story.
Love that. And hey, if you're still stuck, just ping us at offered.co and we'll help break it down. That's it for today. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Thanks, Raj, and thank you all for listening to The People Stack. We'll catch you in the next episode, and until then, good luck and happy hiring.